So right behind me is Trinity High School's sixth form college. I'm in Redditch today for the Redditch Model Railway exhibition hosted by the Redditch Model Railway Club. And this is an exhibition I haven't been to before, so I'm going to go inside now and let's see the layouts on display. So we are now inside. Let's start off with this lovely layout which is presented by Joshua Hall and David Boot, Millbrook. This 4mm scale layout came about after last year's exhibition of the Redditch show in 2024, when Joshua's grandfather David Boot was exhibiting his layout Charlton. After reminiscing about the days when he's exhibited many layouts, which started thinking of building a new layout that they could operate together. This is loosely based on the now closed Great Western Railway station of Badminton, which was sited between Bristol Parkway and Swindon.
Where is he based at? Saltburn? Yeah. Saltburn was it? Saltburn. Nice. Signals down. There's some little whiskey limited.
BNSF Metra. This N-scale layout by Nigel Howald is a small town set on the BNSF Metra commuter line, which trains running in and out of Chicago. We've seen Metra and Amtrak passenger trains passing through here or calling at the station. City Basin Goods. This 2mm scale layout by Stephen Dance is set in the late 1960s into the early 1970s, somewhere on the western region of British Rail. To portray an urban freight yard, freight trains at the time were a bulk of condiments such as fuel, heating oil, cement and parcels, which most yards vanished in the 1970s into the 1980s.
No, you can't see it.
Pent Valor. Located in a small town in the Talent Valley, mid-Wales, the line was built to transport stone, minerals, granite and lead ore. The layout is loosely based on the station's small goods yard at Pent Valor, and the layout is wired to an auto shuttle, which is why we keep seeing a DMU going back and forth. This 4mm scale layout is presented by Steve Monk.
I rushed and started on the in track, no, on the outer track. And he said, oh, listen now, you jump out.
Coed. This 009 gauge layout is based on a representation of a station on the Coed Railway, but more looks like Bulk on the Festiniog Railway. The trains on the layout are Festiniog Railway locomotives, with guest locomotives making an appearance as well. This layout is presented by Bernard Morgan.
Building the model on the way. Okay. So the lights were an issue. Yeah. We have end of October.
End of October, yeah, we'll have to
Proper gauge of track at last.
Auch Ae, and if I do butcher that up, I do apologise. This 4mm scale layout is based on a Scottish Reeded shed in the 1960s, and this is a work in progress, but showing it in a part-built state gives the opportunity to see how much the layout is built. The layout is presented by Buchanan McInroy.
What's the middle?
It's ground levers for point control, changing the points. Yeah,
I thought it
you
might.
just see.
Oakenshaw. This fictional West Yorkshire mill town layout is set in the early 1960s. It's located near the town of Keighley on the Airedale line. The station is based on Midland Railway practice. This 4mm scale using 00 gauge fine scale Coed 75 track is presented by the Redditch Modern Railway Club.
Sorry? Yes. I'll have to look at the wheels.
Burlish Crossing. This 7mm scale layout is a what-if layout and an adaptation of the station Burlish Holt on the Bewdley to Stourport line, as the original station was a small platform that could fit 2 coaches. But this layout recreates the through line between Bewdley and Stourport, which was once part of the original 1862 Severn Valley Railway route before the line to Kidderminster was built. This is presented by the Bewdley 7mm group.
Very jealous.
So that's the plan. I agreed with Ridgewell. That's how I'm going to procure some. Trying to do some of theirs.
Yeah.
When I went up there to get some, they were using all the boards. They've got like 7 or something. They were all.
Bere Banks. This 4mm scale layout is inspired by the junction station Bere Alston, west of Tavistock. The layout is a what-if layout if the line between Meldon Croy and Bere Alston never closed in 1968 and would have been a useful alternative route at Boiling Dawlish. This layout is presented by Keith Sully. Seaford Promenade. Seaford is a town located on the south coast of England, not far from the port of New Haven. It's located on a single track from Lewes by New Haven. This 4mm scale layout is a set in the 1960s and is presented by John and Peter Smith. Motley Sub Shed. This 10-foot by 2-foot O gauge layout has interesting scenery, and that is the locomotives. A collection of locomotives was once described as motley, so when constructing a layout to display the locomotives, it was called motley. This is a sub shed and not a large motive power depot. It's just used to park locomotives up between duties. The layout is presented by Rob Newman, but the layout is also used to publicise the Stadia 8F Locomotive Society, who owns Stadia 8F number 48773.
Are you suggesting the castle's fine to go in?
Pulsons Amalgated Munitions. Tucked away in a quiet corner of Birmingham is a little known company called Pulsons. This is a line that connected onto a GWR branch line. The factory has been building weapons in the 19th and 20th centuries and was set up in 804 by Elijah Pulson. This 7mm scale layout is by Mike Bragg. Sadly, at the time of filming, I haven't seen a movement on this layout, and it's been like that all day after a few conversations with people who were in attendance. There was also one layout that was attending called Copper Wart, which is a stunning layout but wasn't there at the show as the owner of Copper Wart was ill, and I do wish them a speedy recovery. Also, the layouts are mostly in scale than gauge, as they were listed scale on the website and in the booklet, and saying millimetre has seriously annoyed me. But I'd like to thank Redditch Modern Rowing Club for putting on a good show and exhibitors for their layout. I'd like to thank you for watching.